Welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator 2. Alright, so it's been about 5 weeks. I know, it's been a bit since I released that last episode that was full of bugs, and it was just a bad episode all the way around. So the reason I waited so long to release another episode was I was hoping they would come out with an update for the game. Anyway, if you want to go back, if you haven't seen it, the bug-filled episode, I'll put a link up in the upper right-hand corner so you can go back and check that out before you watch this one. So anyway, they have released an update. So if you haven't seen the update, you should definitely go check that out. I'll try to remember to put a link down in the description to everything they added. There's a bunch of new cases, some fans. I don't remember what else. There's no hardware though, like no CPUs, no GPUs, none of that stuff. It's all just cases and fans and stuff like that. But there's some really cool stuff. But they also fixed one issue, or at least it was in the update that they fixed it, so hopefully they have. We'll check it out here in a little bit because we've got a build that's going to include this. But one of the issues I was having is I need to run this game in windowed borderless because I record. It makes it easier for me to go to one of my other screens and do things without having to alt-tab out of the game. However, in windowed borderless, when you would water cool a graphics card, you couldn't see the thermal paste. You couldn't remove it, so you would have to put the game into full screen mode. Then you could see the thermal paste. Then you could water cool the graphics card. Then you would have to go, or at least I would have to go back to windowed borderless for ease of recording and stuff. They said they fixed that, so hopefully that is a fix. Now, however, I do have other bugs that have not been fixed. One of those, let's go take a look here. It'll be the easiest just to show it. Every PC I have for sale says unfinished. Now I've had people in the comments tell me that they need to be dusted, that you can't... What is up with the clomping footsteps? I don't remember ever hearing that. People have said they need to be dusted, whatever. However, if you pick it up, or at least for me, put it back down and hit sell, it now says for sale. If there was dust in it, I don't think it would do that. Also, let's go show this as well. If we sprint in here, if there was dust in here, we'd be able to dust it, right? So this one has lost its CPU cooler. There was very much a CPU cooler on this. If you zoom in, and I'll zoom in, look, there's still thermal paste. So the update has removed the CPU cooler from this. I don't even remember what was on here, guys. Oh, goodness. That's not cool. Well, let's show the dusting anyway. We go here, see if this one needs dusting. It won't let me dust it because there's no dust. This one now has an issue because it has no CPU cooler, so that's going to be... Oops. That's going to be... Can I not close this panel? That's going to be something I'm going to have to work on later. So let's put that down here. We're going to have to put a CPU cooler on that. This other one, though, this one's water cooled. And the water block's still on there. So... It says ready to boot, but it also says it has a broken graphics card, and I know for certain that that is a brand new, I think 4090, yeah, brand new 4090 in there, so it is not broken. So that could be part of the problem with that one. This one's also water cooled, it says unfinished. This one has also a 4090 in it. And it's back for sale. So we'll have to take a look at the one that is weirdly missing a CPU cooler. Not sure what's up with that. Anywho, I'm not going to be making any spares and repairs builds until they get this problem fixed, or at least until I can figure out a way to fix it within the game. This one, yeah, that's an outlier. Usually I do custom water cooling for spares or repairs anyway, so that would not be an issue. Okay. That's still got a cooler on it. We're good. We're good. A few updates ago, all my water cooling went away in my office PC, so Go figure on that one. We've got 2 builds here. I'm only going to do 1 build today. But we're also going to go ahead and do this because that just seems easy. This says, can you help me out with something? I've decided I need a fancier looking PC. Specifically, I'd like cables using red, gray, and orange. Just those, please. Nothing else. In terms of time, can you get it finished by 3/2/2023? Could you maybe paint the case sky blue? It's not as quick as it used to be, and I get a lot of strange pop-ups. Can you sort that? Thanks, Vince. So we need to install cables that have red, gray, and orange. That would be a custom cable set, so we're going to have to make one of those. We also need to paint the case sky blue and run a virus scan because they're getting a bunch of strange pop-ups. I think we can get that done without a problem. Let's go ahead and accept that one. Then, let's see. Water-cool CPU. Let's do this one. This is the one I think I wanted to do anyway. This is a very long email, by the way. It says, good day, citizen. It is I, defender of the innocent and champion of justice, Captain Crunk. Yes, I know the name hasn't aged well. I came up with it in 1999, but do you have any idea how expensive it is to rebrand? I need a new costume, a complete overhaul of my gadget lineup, to say nothing of the merchandise. The point is, I require your assistance, citizen. As everyone knows, my crime-fighting adventures all begin in a top-secret base, the Crunk Cave, a labyrinthine underground complex filled with crime-fighting technology and gadgets to strike fear into the hearts of criminals. Sadly, the Crunk Cave was seized 2 weeks ago by the police, who claim it was built without proper planning permission. Since when do you need permission to fight crime? But Captain Crunk says never give up, so I rented a new base of operations. Yes, it may look like a ratty apartment above the post office, but it's actually a secluded hideaway from which I can strike at any moment. A fearsome central location with convenient access to an array of local shops. However, the police refused to hand over my Crunkatron 4000 supercomputer because apparently the self-destruct mechanism is very, very illegal. So I need a new crime-fighting computer with the following specifications: 64 gigs, 4 water-cooled GPUs, water cooling for the CPU, a benchmark score of at least 12,500. I trust I can rely on you, citizen. And remember, when all seems hopeless, crunk it up. Alright, so we've got a parts budget of $9,000 to get a 3D Mark Time Spy score of 12,500, install multiple graphics cards of 4, water-cool CPU and GPU, and upgrade to 64 gigs of RAM. Well, it wouldn't be an upgrade, we're just going to put 64 gigs of RAM in it. Alright, let's go ahead and accept that. This other build we will save for the next episode. Hopefully we'll get some other stuff in that's a little bit quicker. This build's going to take a little bit of time. Obviously, like I said, we are not doing a spares and repairs build, but we may work on the one that needs a CPU cooler reinstalled on it. Not sure what happened there. So first things first, let's go back up to this one. Let's go to the custom cables. We need gray and orange and red, right? Yeah, red, gray, and orange custom cable set. Will this open? So we're going to have to do all these blasted cables to get a red, gray, and orange custom cable set. So red, what do we do, like 4 red, 1, 2, 3, 4 gray, and orange. And then we'll do orange, we'll do gray, and we'll do red on the reverse side. Then we need to do the 8-pin because we don't know what we have in there or what they've got in their computer. So let's go back with red. Let's do 2 gray in the middle and orange. And then for the 6-pin, we'll do red, gray, orange. For the SATA, let's make, maybe we'll just do those gray. All right, so this is going to be red, gray, orange. RGO. Let's see, I think we've got everything done there. Red, gray, orange. Add to basket. And we'll go ahead and check out. We're going to do next day delivery for this because it'll be next day anyway. Buy now. And we are done with that. So then for this, I'm going to have to step away because I've got to get all the parts from the regular shop and the custom water cooling shop all put into 2 different shopping carts. So let me get those open. There's the regular, there's the custom water cooling shop. Once I have this all done and all put into the shopping carts, I'll come back and I will show you guys what we're going to build for Captain Crunk. All right, for this build, to get a reading mark score of 12,500 and also have 4 GPUs in it, we're going to go with an MSI MEG X570 Godlike motherboard, a Ryzen 7 5800X3D, also back up to this guy. There were only a few motherboards that have the proper spacing on the PCI slots to be able to even put 4 graphics cards in. It took me a while to find something that was modern because there's some older ones, but then you're going to have like some ancient CPU. Who wants that? So yeah, this is about as modern as I can go and still have 4 slots available. We're also going to get 4 sticks of HyperX Fury DDR4 RGB 16 gig 3600 megahertz. That'll get us up to the 64 gigs of RAM that they want in this thing. We're getting 4 AMD Radeon RX 6800s. 4, yeah. To power that up, we're going to get an EVGA Supernova 1600 watt T2 power supply. This thing is a beast. They're not getting much storage for this. I had to go cheap, but at least it's fast. We're going to put a Patriot Viper VP 4300 M.2 LP 1 terabyte NVMe drive in there. We're going to put all that in the Ragentek Iris Evo. That's a big case. For the water cooling parts, we're going to go basically all Corsair. There's no Corsair GPU blocks for some reason. Anyway, we're going to get a Corsair CPU block, a Corsair reservoir, as well as 2 Corsair 420 millimeter radiators. Then we're going to get 4 of these EK water blocks for the 6800s. So yeah, lots of stuff. This is going to be a nice big build. Ought to be a lot of fun to put together. Ought to be a lot of fun. So we've got this for next day delivery. Let's go ahead and buy that now. Continue shopping. We'll just close this out. Hopefully I've gotten everything I need. If not, you know, we'll just order it for same day delivery. Let's go ahead and buy all of this now. And we can close that out. And before I go end my day, before I do it, I want to run back out here and make sure at least these 2 say they're for sale. Maybe, just maybe, one of them will sell when we go into the day. Just maybe. So this is ready on the whiteboard. This is in transit. So yeah, we can go stick that sticky on a desk here in a minute. Let's go in here. Let's turn off these lights. Let's end our day. Hopefully we will sell something. Also, we'll get everything in so that we can get to work. Get that nice big build. That ought to be a heck of a lot of fun. I don't know what that sound was. Oh, we did sell something. I see the little exclamation point at shop sales. Awesome. All right, here's our parts. All of them. Why does all my text look like... Is it blurry to you guys? Hold on. Do we have like... DLSS off. I don't need DLSS. Oh, look at how much clearer that is. Why was DLSS on? This computer runs this thing just fine without DLSS. That was... I didn't turn that on. That must be something they have defaulted to. I don't know. I don't know. And then here's our case for the build. So we got 2 big cases. Look at that monster. All right, let's grab this sticky. We're going to go put this thing on this table. And hopefully we got our cables. Hope we got our cables. Because we need to put cables in this thing. Get this side panel off. Let's get this side panel off. Let's see. This needs to go. This needs to... whatever it's doing. Alright. Let's zoom in. Let's go ahead and just get all these cables off of here. We'll do cables first, and then we need to paint this thing sky blue. I don't know why I unplugged that. That wasn't necessary. They have no fans in this. In the world? We need to paint this sky blue as well as do a virus scan. Let's see, what red, gray, orange cables do we want? We've got ribbon braided, ribbon plastic. Oh gosh, so many choices. They didn't really say. Let's do maybe these. Yeah, those aren't bad. Get everything cabled up here. Not a whole lot of cables. Nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and close this up. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece back on. Oh, gosh. Get this piece back on here. Okay. Let's get USB drive in here because we need to do a virus scan. I'm going to go ahead and power this up. I thought these things made a sound when they started up. Is that gone now? Let's see. There's the virus scanner. I was about to zip right past it. Oh, it's fast. Look at how fast this PC is. Gosh. They must not have an SSD in here. All right. 427. Not the most I've ever seen, but that's a fair amount of infected files. Let's clean those up. Get this all nice and clean. I don't think we needed to dust this or anything. It doesn't look dusty. Yeah. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Let's do that. Okay, let's go ahead and get their side panels put back on. Excellent. So there's what their beast looks like. Nice. Very nice. Okay, let's go paint this thing sky blue. Spray paint, sky blue. That says cyan. Sky blue. There we go. Let's try that. Let's see. We'll do this. That. Okay. We're not going to paint the glass. And we can't paint the back. So I think that's done. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I think we're all done with that. Okay, let's go put this thing out here in the delivery area. Booyah. And let's get started on this build. Now, I've got a few things I need to do with water cooling, but we can probably go ahead and take this case apart because we've got quite a few things that need to go in here. Let's see, this needs to come off. I don't know, this side might need to come off as well. Guess we'll find out as we go. Let's get the motherboard in, though. We've got this MSI MEG X570 Godlike. Yeah, I think our spacing is going to work well on that. Let's get this thing ready for CPU. We've got 4 sticks of RAM going in. And we'll go ahead and put the NVMe drive in as well. So for the CPUs, we've got the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. There we go. For the RAM, we've got 4 sticks of this HyperX Fury DDR4 RGB 16 gig 3600 megahertz. Get all that installed. And we're going to go ahead and get the storage in, which is that Patriot Viper VP 4300. It's 1 terabyte. There we go. There we go. I think we could go ahead and get some thermal paste on this CPU. We can go ahead and put the CPU block on it. Get a nice big old glob. Over here to custom water cooling, we need CPU blocks. Oh, that's used. I was going to say I already had one, but it's used. We want to use new stuff to get that on. And I might wait on the reservoir sometimes. I can't remember if they get in the way in this case or not. But we can go ahead and put in our power supply, which is this EVGA Supernova 1600 T2. It goes right here, and it literally spans the whole thing. It's a beast. I probably need to take this off too. We're not putting anything back here, but I don't know if I can access the back of this with it on there. Okay. So let's switch this bench over to water cooling. First off, I need to flip fans on one of these. Let's take the fans off. Is it just gonna let me what was on? Was it these? Is it these Fractal Design fans that are on there? I hope so. Sure. Okay. So that's done. We can go back over here and we can install radiators. Okay, this is the one for the front. Let's, oh my gosh. Let's rotate it around. Perfect. So now the fans are pulling in instead of blowing out the front, so that's good. Then here's the other 420. We're going to put that up in the top. Let's see, do we want it? Oh my gosh. Do we want it forward? Sure, let's put it here. Actually, is it blocking our... I don't know if we've got room. Let's move it back. It looks better forward, but I think we're going to be better off if we scooch it back to there. Then we've got room. Yeah. And then let's go ahead and get our reservoir installed. And it goes right there. So yeah, that might have been in the way. Might have been in the way. Okay. Now we've got 4 graphics cards that we need to water cool. So hopefully these go quickly. I may not talk through all of this, depending on how long this takes. Let's see. Get our new little thermal pads on. Get this off. So this is working now because the thermal paste did show up and I am in windowed borderless. Not enough. Jeez. And we'll get this on here. And screw it down. And in the inventory. So there's one. So yeah, they did fix this. And even though it didn't seem like the storefront's been fixed, it seems like I've sold something, so we will check on that as well. So that would make me very happy if all the bugs that I have encountered have been fixed. Alright, let's get thermal paste on here. It wanted a whole lot. Get another block on here. So yeah, maybe in the next episode we'll actually go back to building stuff to sell in the storefront. Okay, there's number 2. 3. Get these pads off. New pads on. Clean the thermal paste. See, there's not much on there, and then they want me to put a lot more on than what was on. There we go. New block. And done. And we have one more. There she is. That off of there. Old pads gone. New pads on. Thermal paste removed. New thermal paste on. Not enough. Go. Water block. In the inventory. Excellent. Okay, let's go install these. Hopefully. Hopefully they all fit in here. Okay. There's all 4 of them. Nope, don't want to remove water cooling. There's 1. There's 2. 3. 4. Holy cow. Those aren't the right fans. Those are Fractal fans. Those are Corsair fans. But I guess at least I had some fans. Why wouldn't it let me just use those fans? Huh. Those were the ones that I took off of this. Oh well. At least I had some fans, I guess. Okay. For piping. I think I'm actually going to go with flexible piping. Let's see. Maybe we'll do some purple fittings. Do I want to do purple flex? I'd like to put some purple in this, if you can't tell. Let's do purple flex. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, I don't hate that. We're going to go out of there, into here, out of here, into here, out, in, out, in, out, in, and then back to here. Actually like the flex. That looks pretty good. Let's... Oops, we're not ready for coolant yet. We need to do cables. I want to do... Is it... I'm trying to remember. Sometimes these look more purple than purple. That is not... This is not one of those times. Let's try plastic purple. See, that looks way too bright. What about this purple? That's better. It kind of matches the fittings, but it's not quite as purple as the tubing. But hey, close enough. I'm going to use it. Okay. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of slots left to plug things in. All right, let's get some coolant in here. Let's put purple coolant in. Let's do some UV. While that is running through, I am going to go ahead and get a USB drive in here. And I'm going to start putting some of these removed components back on. It's PSU shroud on. We've got the beauty panel. We've got, let me zoom out. Feel way too close. We've got a dust filter. Got a front panel. We've got, is this the top dust filter? It is. And since I've already got my USB drive in there, I'm just going to go ahead and put the stuff on the back of the case. Because we'll get our USB drive back. Put that side panel on. We're going to leave this one off for the time being. Alright, let's power this sucker on. I just noticed that there's a light that is a wonky color. Oh gosh. Let's turn XMP on, get our 3600 megahertz. We've only got the one drive to boot from, so let's let this baby boot up. Yeah, there's no starting sound. Huh. They get rid of it? Weird. Oh, I want to put a lighting app on here. Now, unfortunately, these don't have RGB because apparently when you flip the fan, you can't use the fans that were on it. What's up with that? Anywho, that one's white and those are RGB, so let's see what we can do here. We're going to go static and we're going to do purple. Okay. I think we're good. Everything's purple. What happens if I put the side panel on? Okay, it's all still purple. Excellent. Alright, we need to get a 3D mark times by score of 12,500. So let me get that running. I'm sure we're going to have way over that. Look at these FPS. All right, I'm going to let this thing run, and as soon as I've got a score, I will come back and show you. All right, 28,264, more than double what Captain Crunk wanted. More than double. Even the CPU score is almost the 12,500 he wanted, so I think we did pretty dang good. Yeah, no complaints there. Are we still missing stuff? I don't think so. I think we're good. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Look at this thing. Wait a minute. Is that the temperature? Is showing 0 degrees? Doubtful. I think it looks pretty good though. He didn't say what color he wanted, so we just went with a classic purple and black theme. I like it. I like it a lot. Look, even the keyboard. I even made the keyboard match. We should just keep this for ourselves. This could become our new office PC. This thing would be a beast. Absolute beast. Okay. Let's go put this out in the delivery area. I think everything's done. We did paint this one, right? Yeah. It is painted. Let's collect some money, and then we'll see what's sold. Actually, let's take a look here, see if any of that we wanted. So we got some new emails. Oh, look, they don't put the blue dots by the emails anymore when they're new. We got to customize and upgrade for the next episode. This one, though, I think we're good. We put in the new cables, we painted it sky blue, and we ran a virus scan. So, okay, let's get 5 stars. 5 stars. Custom cables look so good in my PC, and I couldn't be happier. Very, very nice. Let's delete that. Then we've got Captain Crunk. Everything's green here. Everything's green. We spent $13 under budget. 13 under budget. All right, 5 stars. 5 stars. Very nice. Very, very nice. We can delete that one. So we've got to build an upgrade and a customize for the next episode. Let's take a quick look at spares and repairs here, see if anything I might want. 8350K, not at all. Ryzen 5 2600. Nope. Nope. I'm looking for newer stuff, in case you're wondering. A Z590 with an 11500. That wouldn't be too bad. It's got a 970. Got a B450 with some broken RAM and a 2080 Super. Not too bad. And the Z270, that's pretty old. You know what? I'm just going to wait. If this was in a newer, nicer, I don't know. The 1000D isn't a bad case. It's just not super flashy. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. However, let's take a look at shop sales. So we sold the Beast. We sold the Beast for 15 grand. I don't even remember which one that was. I think that was the one up in the window. So yeah, 15,000. We made 8,619 in profit. Let's go ahead and collect that. I'll take it. So that means we still have the, yeah, that one. The one down there sold. So I'm just going to have to pick them up and reset them. This one still says it's for sale. So maybe they fixed this too. That would be awesome. For this one, really, we just need to put some sort of CPU cooler on it, and we can go list this one back for sale. I don't know what I have in stock. Hopefully I've got something that will work. I think this had an AIO on it. Let's see if I have an AIO. CPU cooling. Got a 240. Do I have a 360? I've got this Endorphi. I think I had something much nicer on here. I think I had like an MSI CPU cooler. But I think this is what it's going to get. Let's make sure this power's on. I'm going to hop into the BIOS. Let's make sure they didn't turn off like XMP. Nope, that's all on. Excellent. Okay, it boots. I'm okay with the white lights. Everything else is white already. So it's still saying incomplete case. Oh, I didn't put the top on. There we go. Now it's a complete case. Now we should be able to go sell this. I know that wasn't quite as good as doing a full-on spares and repairs build, but hey, if we can list this and sell it now, that would be perfect. I don't even remember what we named this. It will not let me place it there, though. Oh, this one's saying it has dust. When previously, it wouldn't let me dust it. Let's clean out the dust. See, and that's, again, why I say it wouldn't let me sell one with dust in it. Because it literally won't let you place it there. I don't remember what this was named or anything. Oh, it saved it all? MSI PC build. 50% chance. Okay. We're just going to leave that there. Hopefully we're good to go. Hopefully this is fixed, because I want to start selling PCs in the storefront here again. We got all kinds of software for sale. People buy software on CDs anymore? I don't know. That's some loud clomping my character does, though, out there. Very, very loud. So yeah, it seems like they fixed most of the bugs. I can't complain. Cannot complain. The bugs have been pretty bad for a while, so if they're all fixed now, we're going to get back into building some stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, a thumbs down if you didn't, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and ring the bell if you want to be notified as soon as a video from me goes live. If you want to chat with me outside of YouTube, I do have a Discord server. The link is down in the description. I also stream over on Twitch. If you want to catch me live over there, I've got a link to my Twitch in the description as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next episode.